What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the 10-7 MMA podcast, MMA show, whatever you want to call it. We are back on this Monday after, in my opinion, a great weekend of fights. I love UFC 318. I'm curious to hear what Justin has to say. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. But it wasn't just a UFC fun-filled weekend. We had a lot of crazy things happening in the world of combat sports. I don't know if I told you this, Justin, but for the Manny Pacquiao fight, my girlfriend had a little party, and she had her boxing coach from Wild Cards, Sammy. He's a legend. He came over and watched the fights. We had some other folks. So we were watching the boxing event as well. But I had the second TV on in the other room where I was sneaking away to watch all the UFC fights. I even had it on my phone during the Pacquiao fight. Before we get into the mix, we didn't make this an official topic because I know you and I, we're not the biggest boxing fans. I don't even know how to talk about the Pacquiao fight intelligently. That being said, did you watch any of the Pacquiao fight?
No, I'll tell you what. I lost boxing. I watched like Deontay Wilder or the Gypsy King. I'll watch them fight. But as for Manny Pacquiao, man, I'm such a Manny Pacquiao fan. He fought in Australia about 15 years ago. He almost outstruck his opponent double during the fight. The stats showed, and he lost the fight by split decision. After I saw that fight, I am done watching boxing. It was such a crooked loss. He was in Australia going against an Australian, this great Australian fighter, but the stats, he doubled his output. He doubled his significant strike landing. It was almost doubled, and he ended up losing the fight round by round. And after that, I just realized how crooked boxing really is, and it lost me and I won't support the sport.
Yeah, it was even the folks that were into boxing. I don't know. It was 12 rounds. They went back and forth. It was pretty even. And then it ended up being a majority draw. Like, it was just so disappointing. It was so whack. But I don't know
how much of that. Pacquiao, though, 46 years
yes.
old. He's been around. He's fought everybody. What a fucking legend, man. And not to mention all his charity recognition, man. The guy is just a stand-up guy for the sport. What a fuck. I mean, you got guys like, Floyd Mayweather. Oh, he's 50-0 or whatever. Like, oh, that's great. But I'll take Manny Pacquiao over Floyd Mayweather any day just for his personality and how much charity work he's been involved in.
100%. And I will say this is only 1 year older than me, Manny Pacquiao, but he looked awesome. He looked phenomenal. He looked like he still had a lot of speed, obviously a lot of power still. And he hung in there and arguably won that fight. But again, it went down to a majority draw. It is what it is. That's all we're going to say about that. It was a historic fight, a historic event, a historic return. He nearly beat his opponent, who was like 27 or 28 or something like that, whatever, how old he was. But now let's get into the good stuff. All right, let me read out a couple comments before we jump into the mix. Tehran is back. He said, "What's up, boys?"
Is that a new picture? He has a new picture, Tehran?
Oh, yeah, that might be a new picture.
Yeah.
A new pic. Hey. Western says, "Hey, lads, what's up, West?" And then we said, Tehran says, "I ain't watched boxing since since Floyd versus Oscar De La Hoya, which was 18 long years ago." Well, you didn't miss much. Take it from me. And now let's get into UFC 318. I thought the main card was awesome. I don't know what everybody else thought or what you guys think or what Justin thinks, but we're gonna get into that. Let's start right. Oh, Johnny Monday is back in the mix. What's up, everyone? Max. So we set out a poll. I don't know if you guys, we're going to do polls almost on a daily basis now. They're really fun. I really like to do that and gauge what people are feeling or thinking about upcoming fights. So we released a poll on Friday, got like 84 votes or something like that. The last thing I recollect. But in terms of the line, who was picking who to win in terms of Dustin versus Max, right? We had 52% picking Dustin. It was very close. And I think when it's like that, it makes the fight that much more exciting. But anyways, Justin, let me turn it over to you first. What did you just give us your overall takeaway? What did you think of this main event?
People aren't going to like this take, man. And I said in the video that I made yesterday, I don't know if it's posted yet. I thought it was a good fight. Now, keep in mind, guys, my expectation on when I say a great fight or an amazing fight, like I want to be engaged the whole time from when the bell rings to when the bell rings, from the first round to the fifth round. Again, I'm not criticizing the fight. It was a good fight. But throughout the fight, I was pulling out my phone, texting, talking to who was sitting next to me, and that just said, as looking back, I wasn't engaged as I'd like to be. Honestly, again, guys, this is not me talking shit. This is not me criticizing. It was a good fight, but it wasn't an incredible fight. I felt like it was a glorified sparring match. And the reason I say that is because Max Holloway had Dustin Poirier hurt a couple times through and throughout the fight. Even if he didn't drop him to the ground, like you could see his legs stiffen and he looked like baby deer, and he wasn't jumping on him. And I just was really unsure why. And I don't think it was because, it's Dustin Poirier's last fight and he didn't want to. I just didn't think I don't think that was the reason. I just think he was really, I don't think he wanted to get in that fight. I don't know why. Actually, I'm not even going to make an opinion because I don't know. But honestly, the fight was good. I mean, it's a better than okay fight, obviously. But again, I felt like it was a glorified sparring match.
Yeah, I guess maybe I had a little bit of a different perspective. Obviously, Justin's coming at this from professional fighters' perspective, trains at Extreme Couture. You see these types of fights and scraps all the time at the gym. For me, what I was curious about, I was really curious to see how it would unfold. And I think that because Demetrius Johnson explained exactly how whoever was going to be successful needed to win by being dynamic. Don't make it a pure boxing match. Mix up the strikes, maybe mix in the takedowns. We saw Dustin go for a guillotine. I wanted to ask you about that in a moment, by the way, because obviously he's been talking about getting one for a while and people kind of thought he was going to get it, but people almost never get guillotines nowadays, at least maybe sometimes standing guillotines. So I want to get your takeaway on if you think that was just a totally crazy move. But anyways, we heard about what the winning fighter needed to do, and Max did it. And I thought that's what he was going to do. So I also selfishly loved it because I'm like, wow, this is kind of unfolding how I predicted. I was feeling good about myself. But yeah, the way he mixed in the kicks, mixed in the strikes, like the body kicks, I thought were amazing. Just back to back to back. You saw a big red welt on Dustin. Who knows how that compromised him or limited him throughout the remainder of the fight. And I thought Max with his boxing looked amazing. He was hitting him at all different angles. I was really impressed with that. His spinning kick didn't land with the same power and force that it did, it seemed like, against Justin Gaethje, or it didn't hit him in the face. Let's put it like that. He hit Justin Gaethje perfectly and broke his nose. That didn't happen here. But anyways, I really enjoyed the fight. I loved Max's performance personally. And I, he even still put it on. He was clearly winning the fight and he put it on the line again. I mean, yo, dog, if you were Max's corner, would you be yelling at him at that point and be like, what are you doing? Stop pointing to the center. Or would you be like, go? No, you would be like, go for it. Wow.
That's him. It's not a character. It's what a BMF does. He is the epitome of a BMF. When you talk about badass motherfucker, that's what badass motherfuckers do. And he's done it time and time again, back to two killers. Dustin even said in a post-fight interview, I kept looking up at the clock because I knew he was going to do it. I knew he was going to point to the center. I kept looking up at the clock, and both of them were. And then Dustin said, I got cracked a couple times. Like, I'm good. There's only 8 seconds left. We're going to grapple a little bit. And you know what? It just goes to show the kind of guy Max Holloway is. Win or lose, he's going out on his shield. I like to think of myself as a really tough, durable dude. But I tell you what, if I'm fighting for UFC gold and there's 10 seconds left and I'm winning the fight, I might even pull a fucking guard to ensure victory. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Max Holloway is the BMF champion, and nobody can take, even if he loses, you can't take that away from him. Jorge Masvidal, very tough, but he wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
Colby Covington, pretty good. He wouldn't do that. Justin Gaethje, I could see him doing that.
Well, he did it.
Well, he didn't. No, he engaged. He didn't initiate. If he didn't go in the middle and say point down, that's Max Holloway's move. And there has been guys. Me and Dennis Davis joke about it a lot. People have tried to come out and do it, and then they do it and they go to engage and then they shoot a takedown or something like that. We always laugh about that. But Max Holloway, regardless if he wins or loses, if he ever becomes the lightweight champion or not, is the BMF champion forever. And to take that title, because he represents everything about it, man. Even when Ilya Topuria is like, you better put your BMF title line, Max is like, hey, brother, that's not very much a BMF thing to say. And I was just like, and he's right. He's right. Win or lose, Max Holloway is the undisputed GOAT as the BMF champion.
Yeah, I never thought about that. Actually, when you say it like that, that's actually dope. He is the baddest of them all, right? They made it with Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is a legend, and obviously we had it for Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal after that flying knee, and that was pretty cool. But you think about that fighting style. It's nuts. He was winning? I definitely was 49-46 or almost 50-45. I mean, he basically won every round. You could say you give it to Dustin. I think everybody gave it to Dustin in round 2 because he nearly finished Max. But Max was Max also had a lot of moments in round 2. So it was obvious he was winning, and he almost throws it away like, yo, dog, if that was my boy, I'd be so pissed off at him. But you're right. You can't say anything. And that just goes to show he is the actual epitome of a BMF. Nobody else does that. Wow. That's a really good point. Johnny Money, we got a quote here. Respect to Dustin's career retirement, but Max showed again how special he is. I totally agree with Justin. Max is a legend forever. Let's talk about this for a second. Now, I was thinking about this earlier today. And Justin, and actually everybody in the mix, I'd love to get all your guys' thoughts on this. Just food for thought here, okay? We have one of the craziest things happening right now in the lightweight division. And I want to show you, we're going to take a look at the rankings. I know they haven't been updated yet. They're going to get updated tomorrow, but let's look at them right now before they get updated, because actually there's something I want to show you guys. We have Arman Tsarukyan, who's probably going to fight Islam Makhachev next, right? That's what people think. It's going to be Arman. But what am I saying? Did I say Islam? Arman Tsarukyan's going to fight Ilia Topuria next for the belt. Why? I don't even know why Islam is still on here. But anyways, who does Arman Tsarukyan have wins over? Charles Oliveira, awesome. Close victory, like razor close, but he got that victory over him. Who else is Arman Tsarukyan beaten up here?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
I think he had a close fight with Gamrot. I think Gamrot won. Here, I'm going to show you something right now. Hold on. I should have had this pulled up. We're going to look at his record right now. And I just thought this was very interesting food for thought. So if we look at his record, and then we're going to go back to the top 10 in a second. He beat Dariush. That was a great fight. He lost to Gamrot, but he beat Dariush and Oliveira. So now if we go back to the rankings, okay, give me 1 second. Let me pop this back up here. So he beat Beneil Dariush, who's a legend, don't get me wrong, but ranked number 9. He lost to Gamrot, and he beat Oliveira, who's a legend. I'll give you that, okay? So he beat Charles Oliveira. Max Holloway is 2-0 right now in the lightweight division. At least I'm talking recent history. He's 2-0 in the lightweight division. He beat Gaethje and Poirier, 2 straight-up legends. So really, we're talking about a win over Oliveira versus a back-to-back victory over Gaethje and Dustin Poirier. Justin, is there any world in which it makes more sense, actually, when you just think about the resumes and what Max Holloway has done lately, that it actually makes sense to throw Max right in the mix for the next title shot against Ilia Topuria, just based on resume?
Yes and no. I think Max is more deserving. He's been there and done that. He hasn't missed weight. He shows up every time. With that being said, 3 fights ago, we look at Max. We look at Max against Dustin Poirier. We look at him against Ilia Topuria, against Justin Gaethje. Prior to those 3 fights, Max had never been dropped. All right. He had dropped against Gaethje. He got knocked out against Topuria, and he got dropped against Poirier. All right. So I think that he's starting to get a little chinny. All right. With that being said, I think if he rematches Ilia Topuria, it's going to be the same outcome. All right.
Really?
Yeah, I really do. Ilia Topuria right now, I think, is just on another level to everybody. You know, and he's coming in at a perfect time. And this is something I was trying to talk to you about last night, is about Jon Jones coming in. And he's beating all these legends of fighters, but they weren't the same as guys they were before. Not discrediting Jon Jones, but Ilia Topuria is coming in and he's wiping out divisions, but they're not of guys. I'm not going to say they're not in their prime, but you know, you look at Volkanovski, who's the featherweight champion right now. He knocked him out. Like, Volkanovski's been in so many wars. You know, he has so much wear and tear on his body. And then you look at Max Holloway, so many wars, so much wear and tear on his body. Charles Oliveira, so many wars. So you have this generation of fighters that were just that were and still are killers. You know, you look at, again, the guys he's beaten: Volkanovski, Holloway, Poirier, Oliveira. They are killers. I'm not discrediting these wins, but they're kind of doing this. You understand? Like, I don't know, man. I know a lot of people don't like this take, but this is a take that this is not something I made up. This is something that Dennis Davis talked to me about when we're watching these fights. And Dennis Davis, head coach at Extreme Couture, been around since way before me. He's my head coach. And he really got me thinking. He's like, they're still up here on the top of the mountain, but they're starting to do this. And Ilia Topuria is at that perfect time where he's early in his career. He hasn't had the miles they have, and he's knocking them out. So he's catching them on their back side of their career instead of on their front side of their career. Now, again, not discrediting those wins, But I think Topuria is just in a perfect place in his career. Everything has worked out. Everything. The stars have aligned. He's coming at the perfect time where these guys are on their downfall. And again, I'm not discrediting these wins because what he's doing is incredible. But again, I don't think these guys are the same as they were at one time.
That's fair.
I think Charles Oliveira.
Yep, I think that's fair criticism. Whatever. Fair.
I'm not a hater. I'm a Topuria fan. And that's one thing I hate about these casual fans. We have 14 people watching right now. Guys, like, when I say things like this, I like Ilia Topuria. I think he's awesome. I think he's great. I'm not saying he's bad, but he's come in the perfect storm at the perfect time to where these guys are on their kind of the backside of their career. And like when we talk about Dakota Ditcheva in a little while, man, I got so much criticism. Like, oh, you're talking so much shit about her. Listen, half the video I made was praising how great she is. All I said is when you're a minus 3,300 favorite, you need to finish fights. That's all I said. That's not criticism. That's a fact. She's great. She's hot. She's incredible kickboxing. She has good grappling. But when you're a minus 3,300 favorite, if me and you fight Josefa, I'm a minus 3,300% favorite.
Right.
Or minus 3,300 favorite. You understand? Like, that's the skill gap. And when the PFL comes out and they're like, oh, well, the girl was tough. The girl was tough. Then she should have been a minus 500 favorite. And now she goes to decision. It's more credible. But when you're a minus 3,300% favorite, I even said in my video, you better be better than her at braiding hair. You better be better than her at cooking food. You better be better than her at literally everything in your life. You better be better than her. And you better be able to finish her at any time. People don't understand. I am a gambling degenerate. All right? When a line is a minus 3,300 favorite, when you're a minus 3,300, what that line is saying is there's no, essentially you win 1 out of 33 times is what that line says. And it's not exactly that, but it will say 1 out of 30 times. All right. Dakota Ditcheva, and people are like, oh, well, she's finished 12 of her 15. And that's great. I'm not talking about the past. And that's why I go in the comments section when we get to her. Anyways, I'll stop talking about that till we get to it. But I got a big rant about that.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for that rant. All right. In the meantime, by the way, if you guys are on the stream right now, thank you for showing up. Please click that like button. It helps the engagement. It helps push the stream out. We got a bunch of comments, so I'm going to read through some of these that we have missed. And MGal4 Production says, Max looked good. Costa too. Oh, we're going to talk about Costa. Oh, snap. Middleweight division is crazy. Tehran says, Holloway punches have so much sting in his punches at lightweight. I know. And I wonder too, with the greater hydration levels, that's why I actually am curious to see him fight Ilia again, but we'll come back to that. Joshua Delivery Driver. I remember you said last week you were hoping Khamzat pulled back from some of the intense cardio with Coach Calavita. He said, yes. And from what you're seeing on social media, he has pulled back. We shall see. I mean, they're still about a month away from the fight, but yeah, Slappy the pool boy is back. He said comes out bald again. A bald Khamzat and a bald Alex Pereira. Likewise, they're both so scary. They're like the scary factor goes up a little bit. Imagine if Dricus comes out with a shaved head. That'd be insane. Tehran says Holloway has speed advantage over a lot of lightweights. Johnny Monday says respect to Dustin's career retirement, but Max showed again how special he is. I totally agree with Justin. Max is a legend forever. Yes, I agree. And a couple more comments. Tehran says I see everyone wants to Bronx too. Yep. And Tehran says I see everyone wants to Bronx. While I agree with Holloway, I actually want that fight to go. Wait, let me see what else he said. I agree it's a good fight. Just too soon for DuBronx. He should take a rest of year off. I wouldn't mind Holloway fighting Hooker. I mean, you could do that fight. Holloway's kind of at the top of the lightweight division. I mean, I feel like he needs to fight somebody. I mean, he could if he wants to, but he should be guaranteed a title shot if he wins, in my opinion, because he's right there. Oliveira actually is the perfect matchup. Or maybe if they're not giving Arman Sarukian the title shot, maybe you could match him against Arman. I don't want to see that, but I'd love to see him fight Hooker, but I think that should be the condition. Western says, I want Gaethje to get the shot. Make Arman fight Max or Hooker. I mean, I'm with you. Well, people are going to get mad if you say that.
I like that take.
I like it, but I've been saying that from the get-go, but I don't know. I don't think most people agree with you. Clown Show Exposed is back. Max Holloway doesn't deserve a Topuria fight. He didn't just get flatlined. Those 2 fights ago. But Topuria has at least three fights more worthy? Wait.
Oh, I think he's talking about 3 opponents more worthy.
You mean Topuria has at least three more worthy opponents? Look, I want to see him fight Patty. Don't get me wrong. Is Patty more deserving than Holloway? I don't think so at this point, but you're right. I want to see Patty. Islam, that's not happening. He's in another weight class, maybe in the future, maybe for the White House card. But yeah, fine, Armin, I get you. Johnny Monday says, I agree with Tuzefa's take on Max's title shot, but love all the matchups with the top guys. All right, we got to move on and say, hey, we got a ICU urologist in the mix. Good afternoon, fellow fans of violent man-on-man action. What's up? What's up? Are you really a urologist? That's very cool. If you are, welcome. Clown show. Sorry, we just got a bunch. I'm trying to give everybody respect who's commented, and then we'll move on. Poirier was also draining himself to 145. Imagine the extra power at 155 to how much easier. I mean, that's a good point, right?
He's also the same. I think it'd be the same, man. I think Poirier knocks him out again.
Yeah, maybe. Man, Poirier is.
I just don't like to see Max get knocked out, man. I don't like to see these legends get knocked out. I have so much respect for him. Again, guys, these guys were in the UFC before I was. I got to be in the UFC at the same time as these guys, and they're in the UFC after I am. And I just hate to see them get flatlined. And that's what happens to these legends. They all are going to go out on their shield. Very rare do guys get out of the sport before they do. You look at like Anderson Silva, who doesn't get credibility or respect like he should, and then you have guys like George St. Pierre that did it right.
We got Spooky Scarecrow. I love these names. He says 0-2 versus Volk, 0-2 versus Dustin. Got trilogies. Why he gets so much handed to him? You're talking about Max. Now he gets a title fight for beating Wash Poirier. I don't think this is a fair take. I mean, look, Dustin wanted to fight a legend. That wasn't even like he had a certain number of people on his list of who he wanted his retirement fight against, and Max, the timing worked out perfectly. I don't think that's just a UFC gifting Max something. It was just the perfect thing. And to his credit, he won the fight. I mean, a washed Poirier. Do you really think Poirier is washed up? I don't think he's washed up. I thought he looked actually pretty good. I just thought Max had a better game plan and just fought more intelligently, and it is what it is. And Dustin even almost got the finish. I don't know. This seems a little intense and harsh to me, but okay, we got a couple more comments, then we got to move on. Leandro, why Holloway's? I don't know who Coy LeRae is, but I thought his wife looked great personally. And doctor, yes sir, a real deal wiener doctor. Let's go, wiener doctor. Welcome to the show. And one more comment, and then we're moving on. MGAL4 Production says, Matt, great display of attacking the body. 100%. Dude, there's nothing more that I like when I watch a striker go is when they have that mixture of body, head, low body, leg kick, like just mixing it up and really being a true martial artist, or at least a true kick, like a well-rounded kickboxer. That's the game. I don't get it when people just sit there and box, even if they're really confident in their hands. You got legs, you got elbows, you got knees, like throw them. I don't know. To me, that's awesome to see. So I really like the fight for that reason. All right, we got to move on. We talked about this way too long. We got the man, the one, the only, Paulo Costa returns, and he looked incredible. His striking was on point. His speed was on point. His conditioning was on point. It was a 3-round shutout, in my opinion. Justin, let me turn it over to you. What are your thoughts initially on Paulo Costa's triumphant return?
As you guys know, man, I was worried about this one. He was an underdog plus 160, seeing him in tweaking at the press conference earlier in the week. I thought there was a good possibility of him gassing out, but man, maybe PCP is an incredible drug. Who knows? That's obviously just a joke. I'm not insinuating he was on drugs, but if you guys saw the tweaking thing, it was just this really weird interview, and it wasn't I don't think it was a staged by any means. You can't stage just like this. Like he's like this the whole and I'm stoned watch. Like it was so funny. Like I got a good story for you. So I'm like, Dennis, did you see him tweaking on stage? And I'm freaking blasted stoned watching the fights. And he's like, no, let me see. So I hand it to him and he watches it. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's not tweaking at all. And I'm just like, whoa, bro, I'm so stoned. It looks like he's shaking in the video. And he starts dying laughing. He's like, oh, I'm just joking with you, dude. He's tweaking. I was like, oh, shit. But anyways, if you guys haven't seen the tweaking video, dude, it's freaking intense. So I was really concerned about that. But he looked like he did at one point. Those body kicks were so brutal. Kapilov, supposed to be this really fast, dynamic striker. Paulo Costa made him look like he's on another level.
Dude, it was so good. And I like having Paulo Costa back. So he did talk about what was going on with the tweaking and the jerking on Ariel's show this morning. I listened to it, and he said that he was taking some supplement that the UFC gave him. And he also he had a lot of energy and nerves and things like that. So I guess that's all it was. Maybe a little bit of secret powder, but who knows? And he is declaring war. So Johnny Monday says, Costa's haunting Josefa's dreams after declaring war on Chimaev. Dude, this is so crazy. Yeah, like Costa wants Chimaev. I don't know how it's going to happen, but Johnny Monday, even you as like the ultimate Chimaev hater, you got to admit, dude, Costa has no shot against Chimaev. Do you really think he's got a chance? I mean, I watch it. They were supposed to fight before. I mean, look, everybody has a chance. Everybody has a chance, but it would be, I don't know. I think that, I mean, Costa on Ariel's show today was like, yes, I want to fight because I have good takedown defense and I kick very hard and I'm really trying to do the best now. And sometimes I don't put it all out. He said when he fought Robert Whittaker, he was still fresh after the fight. So he said it's been some mental hurdles that he's been trying to get over. But yeah, I mean, if he can stay on point, he's fun to have in the division. He's really good. He's really good. I think people forgot. Now you remember. It's good. Justin, who would you like to see here? Let me pull up the rankings for us again. Let's take a little gander here. Who do you think you would like to see him fight next? Somebody mentioned if RDR beats Whittaker, which I don't think is going to happen, but it could, I suppose. But if RDR beats Whittaker, they were saying that might be a cool fight. What do you think, Justin? Who would you like to see? Our boy Paulo Costa at 13, who will probably be in the top 10 again. Who would you like to see him fight next?
Man, let's see where we got here. Cannonier would be a great one.
That'd be cool.
I'd like to see Cannonier, Roman Dolidze, like teammate of mine. I mean, it'd be a great guy. That'd be a great fight there. I mean, really anybody right now. Anthony Hernandez, Marvin, like really anywhere from 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I don't want to see 6. 5, get Robert Whittaker, maybe,
rematch with Whittaker.
But I don't know how many rematches people are going to want to see. So
I don't want to see that. Yeah, I don't want to see that.
I don't think I want to see. I'm not too excited about that. I think keep him out of the top 5, but anywhere from 11 to 7, I'd be great with.
I'd like Paulo. I like it against RDR if RDR wins. If RDR doesn't win, I think your suggestion of Jared Cannonier could be interesting. I think that could be really cool. Jared Cannonier, I think, is almost 40 as well. So maybe that'd be a chance for Paulo Costa to get a win, somebody higher ranked than him, and we'll see what's going on. B Fatty is having some funny comments in the mix here. Hold on, let me highlight these. It looks like we got another troll in the mix. Trolls are a good sign, I think, for a healthy channel. He goes, "What's up, Baldy?" Sorry, Justin. I think he might be coming after you. He goes, "Hey, Doc, I have this bump on my taint that might be for Dr. Pinar." And he's going after Western now. B Fatty, Western Shaft Climber. All right. Anyways, I just saw those comments. I thought they were kind of funny. And Dr. Peter responded, "Sorry, Fatty. I'm sorry."
What a legend. What a fucking legend. Doctor, where are you out of? Are you where are you out in the States?
Yeah, where do you practice? This is legendary. All right, we're gonna ask you a lot of perverted questions throughout because it's good to have an expert in here. All right. Well, anyways, Paulo Costa comes back, dominates. Phenomenal, looked amazing. Kopylov had nothing for him, and we are excited to see that. Now we get to the fight that I've been dying to talk about that got me so upset yesterday. Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez, probably the fight of the night. Should have gotten a fight of the night bonus. I think they still are going to get some sort of a bonus from the UFC. At least that's what nice Dr. Peters from Phoenix, Arizona. But they should get something nice. Dana White did say he will be giving them something, breaking off a little extra for these two guys for that amazing performance. But I thought Kevin Holland won this fight, and I just rewatched round 1. I do not understand how Daniel Rodriguez won round 1. But Justin, I know you were thinking about taking another look at it. I know you said your son thought Holland won round 1. What's your thoughts on this fight?
I thought it was a good fight, but again, it just goes to show the inconsistency of Kevin Holland. We talked about it before the show. When Kevin Holland shows up ready to go, and I know it was a short notice fight for him, but he's just so inconsistent, man. And that's the one thing, that's the danger about his style of taking, fights on short notice consistently and fighting 3, 4, 5 times in a year. He's just inconsistent, man. And I think Kevin Holland's a guy that I stay away from in betting lines just because of his inconsistency. I think he was a minus 400 favorite in this fight. My son, Ben, guys, he made his first video yesterday. We were practicing last night, and it was really cool to watch him go through. And my son's pretty knowledgeable about the sport. A lot of times he even has a better take than I do because he's really smart. And he had him winning the first round and the third round
for sure.
And he didn't agree with he didn't think and even in his video he said, "Oh yeah, people called the second round a 10-8 round, but I don't think it's a 10-8 round. To get a 10-8 round, you really need to dominate." And I'd have to rewatch it again. It was one of those fights to where I was kind of talking back and forth. I was with a couple of my coaches at the gym, and my son was there. So I wasn't that involved. I was involved in more conversation that was going on around me than the fight. So I think I'm going to have to rewatch it, especially after Ben's take.
Second round was not a 10-8. No way. And not a single judge or not a single journalist scored it as such. It was all 10-9. So there's no way that you could put that argument forth. And like the first round, I thought Kevin Holland, look, it was close. All right. I'm not saying it was a landslide victory for Kevin Holland, and that's the way decisions go. You know, one thing I do want to remind people of, and I do have to remind myself of this when I get all worked up, is that the rules of the game are as follows. You agree to enter the cage, enter the octagon, whatever it may be, under the specific rule set, and you agree to adhere to whatever the judges say. You have 3 judges, and you're not having the crowd decide. You're not having the commentators decide. It's the judges. So, unfortunately, the judges chose Daniel Rodriguez essentially unanimously for round 1, so it is what it is. I just was disappointed because Kevin Holland is clearly the better fighter. He's way more dynamic, way faster, way more athletic. I like that. I think Daniel Rodriguez today on Ariel's show was kind of clowning him a little bit for shooting a takedown. I love that he shot a takedown. He's mixing it up. Finally, he's not just trying to stand on the feet and be entertaining. Like, he's actually being serious. So to me, the fact that he lost, it's just a real bummer for the welterweight division, because I think it's cool when he's at the top. If he's in the top 10, it's awesome. It's another guy to have really interesting matchups. He was talking about fighting Kobe. So that's the thing that's a bummer for me. But just going back to the quality of the fight, obviously we had some crazy moments where both guys were nearly out. Kevin Holland nearly out in round 2. Daniel Rodriguez got hurt very badly in round 3. Hey, Justin, do you think Kevin Holland could have done anything different in round 3 to get the finish? Some people are saying that he made a mistake by trying too hard to get that rear naked choke or different things like that. Do you think he should have invited him back to the feet and started throwing hands again?
Hindsight's always 20/20, man. Of course, I have to say that. Yeah, he should have put him back at the feet and tried to finish him out. But if he takes him, I got criticized for taking Charles Rosa down, and looking back at it now, I do regret it. But in the moment, in the heat of the moment, like, I thought that was the best route to victory, and I'm sure that's what Kevin Holland felt too, especially after hurting him. So again, hindsight's always 20/20. It's hard for me. Again, we talk about reactions. It's you're not consciously thinking about all the time what you're doing. You're just kind of reacting in the moment. And unfortunately, he just had a lapse of judgment at that time, and it didn't work out for him.
Thomas Carina in the mix, and he says, still love you, Justin. I don't know. Did he give you some hate in the comments? I'm not sure.
I think he commented on one of my videos.
Okay.
I don't take any offense to it, man. I appreciate all the engagement, Thomas. Thank you for representing and supporting the show. I love constructive conversations.
100%. Same with me. All right. Ram Ranch MMA. What's up with these names? These are amazing. Babies 10-7. Where y'all glistening glutes at? Ram Ranch missing that double-cheeked energy. Come back and slap the hayloft gay again. That is amazing. I have no idea
what that means.
I'm speechless. Fortunately, I picked Daniel Rodriguez. Dude, did you put money on him? Because that's crazy. Those odds.
I had him in a parlay. Like I said, I took all dogs.
And then Tehran says, despite Holland losing last night, they can do. I hope they do the Kobe fight. Please make Kobe fight somebody. I still want to see Kobe fight our boy, what's his name, from Ireland. But yeah, I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Ian Machado Gary, that's what I want. Ram Ranch says, Dr. Peener, nice seeing you, doctor. Always appreciated your cold hands. Let's go. Tehran, Justin is good for the channel. Absolutely, Justin good for the channel. Okay, now moving on to your boy, topic number 4, Zellhuber versus Michael Johnson. I don't know, man. Your boy lost. The odds were really in favor of Zellhuber. We were talking about this a little bit last night. I guess it's the correct choice. Everybody seems to think Michael Johnson won, so I'm probably in the minority. But let me turn it over to you first and get your thoughts on Zellhuber, somebody who trains at Extreme Couture. I've seen him train up close and personal when I was at Extreme Couture. The guy is amazing. His kickboxing is incredible. What's your thoughts on Zellhuber's performance, even though he lost?
Oh, man, go up against touch such a tall task in front of you. Johnson's been around for a long time. He's been there. He's done that. He's fought some of the best in the UFC at the lightweight division. Zellhuber coming through. He's a great prospect, only 26 years old. The guy has incredible striking, has incredible wrestling defense. I think Zellhuber's going to watch this and come back a lot stronger. And Johnson, again, I think he's on kind of that backside of his career, but he just showed that he can still beat these up-and-coming dogs.
What did you think about Zellhuber spamming the head kicks and Michael Johnson kept catching it in the guard over and over? But it's got to do damage. It's got to be beating up the arms. It's got to be connecting to some extent to the head. I thought it was when I was watching, I'm like, why stop? Yeah, he's blocking it, but he's not doing anything. He's not countering. He's not trying to grab the legs. Like keep banging his head and keep banging his arms. What was your thoughts? Do you think he made a mistake there, or you think he was onto something?
I don't think he made a mistake. I just think that's his game plan. When you watch Zellhuber, and I don't know how long you watched him hold mitts. When he's holding mitts with Eric Nixick, he finishes almost every combo with a high kick. The problem we have Michael Johnson, who is obviously shorter than him. Michael Johnson has his hands up high, and when you're punching somebody in the face, their hands are going to stay up, and your hands are already up to block. To his credit, Michael Johnson's forearms could have been hurting, but on the same side, Michael, Zellhuber could have hurt his shins, could have hurt his feet, throwing a lot of those kicks too. So there's just so many unanswered or unknowns in this piece. I would have liked to Zellhuber. I would like to see him go high, low, high. My personal favorite, not that I throw because I have little short stumpy legs, but when I'm teaching tall kickboxers, jab high, cross low, left high, because your hands are going to be jab, cross, ooh, and then so your hands are doing this. Then you got to catch them in that moment. Hopefully your kicks just gonna be a little bit faster before they get their hands up. When you're punching somebody in the face, I don't think you should be kicking them in the head.
With those blocked kicks, does he get any points when they're blocked, or you get literally nothing? See, no. That's the problem. To me, when I was watching it, I figured, right, you're not going to get actual points on the judges' scorecards. You know what I mean? Even if it's partially blocked, you're probably getting nothing. But when I was watching, I was like, all right, he's going back to the well. He's piecing up his arms. He's probably causing damage. Even the commentator said that, but I think none of that, unfortunately, obviously translated to the scorecard. So it is what it is. What do you think, Zellhuber? What would you like to see for Zellhuber next? Do you think he should take time off? Do you think he should get right back in there? Is there anybody you think he should call out?
Going through a decision with Michael Johnson, man, you're taking damage. You know what I mean? Take a little time off. Let's regroup. The problem is when you take a loss like this, if he goes in and he's like, I'm ready. I didn't take any damage. I want to jump right back in. And he loses again. All right, well, now we might be fighting for our contract. And I don't think Zellhuber's there yet, especially after his performance at UFC Noche last year. But he loses again. Now he might start questioning his ability, and then it makes they're winning and losing in MMA are like there's a snowball effect to where you get momentum in either way. And I'm speaking from experience. Once you start losing, you get used to losing. It becomes a lot easier than when you're winning. It's
crazy because he's so good, and so I would hope this doesn't affect his confidence whatsoever. And maybe it was those high kicks. Maybe it was just a combination of not mixing it up, as you mentioned, going high, low, high like that led to his downfall. But I just watch him train, and I look at, I don't know, man. I feel like he's got so much potential and is so good. Anyways, I guess it is what it is. He did fight a vet and a legend in the game, so sometimes that's how it's going to go. But yeah, absolutely hope to see him back ASAP. Western says, Justin, do you work with Zellhuber?
I've trained with him a bunch of times. I see him at the gym all the time. But right now, I haven't been really training with the pros. I've been kind of doing my own thing. My son just moved here last week, so I've been really just focusing on that. I still coach and everything at the gym, but Zellhuber works with Eric Nixick.
And by the way, guys, just to mention, once again, we got a bunch of new training videos. Speaking of Justin training at Extreme Couture, we just started uploading them today. I think a couple got uploaded today, and then they're going to be uploading more during the week. But that is all for our members. If you guys are interested in joining our membership, we got training videos from Justin James. He's trained me before as well. Obviously, Extreme Couture, the best MMA gym on the planet, at least second to none. Let's put it like that. Justin's been training out of there for a very long time, so he's got a lot of cool technique videos. If you're interested in some grappling or striking or drills or things like that, if you're trying to perfect your technique, that's what our membership is going to be all about. And by the way, for those of you guys like Andrew, Nance, who are already members, please let us know if there's any specific videos or training techniques that you want to see, any specific way to order it or organize the videos that you think would be optimal. But right now we're throwing them up there. I think we've almost got almost 20 videos that are going to be up probably by the end of the week. So definitely check it out. We'd love to have you as a member. And that's that. All right, let's keep it going. Oh, Tehran says Zellhuber could fight the guy that BSD just beat on short notice. I don't even know who that is, but hey, I'd watch it. All right, moving on. Now we got to Justin's rant that he wants to go on about Dakota Ditcheva. She dominated. Now, I don't know if you guys saw, but I made a video on Saturday right after I watched the fight. I loved it. I think me and Justin are going to agree to disagree here, but I loved it. I thought she put on a clinic. She absolutely, if you don't know who Sumiko Inaba is, I don't blame you. She's a PFL fighter, but she was actually 8-1 before she fought Dakota. Now she's 8-2. They were trying to sell the fight or position of the fight as speed versus power. And I said in my Friday video, I'm like, I've watched footage on both these guys. I don't see how there's a speed advantage whatsoever. I'm pretty sure Dakota's got just the overall advantage in speed and power. And I think so plus the accuracy. I mean, it was like she couldn't miss. It was like she was playing a video game on cheat mode. Now, she didn't get the finish, but it was one of the most dominant decisions I've ever seen. One judge had it as a 30-24, which I actually think was the most accurate scorecard. The other two were 30-27s, which I think is crazy. I actually think giving her a 30-27 was a robbery. Minimum, should have had a 30-25. Maybe you could say round 3 was a 10-9, but how are rounds 1 and 2 not 10-8? That's insane to me. Literally, Sumiko Inaba, she was like fighting an amateur. It was bananas. But anyways, so I thought Dakota Ditcheva was incredible. One quick stat as well. She had an 87% significant strike success rate. Just to give you context, Chris Matinho versus Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley, who basically couldn't miss in that fight, only had a 72% significant strike accuracy. So it was one of the most incredible performances. I absolutely loved it. I'm blown away. Justin, let me turn it over to you. Begin your much anticipated rant.
I'll keep it short just because I made a video about it yesterday. Dakota Ditcheva is the truth, man. She's an incredible striker. She's gorgeous. She has all, like, I don't know why, like, you casual, not you, but like these casual fans get so upset. Like when I post a comment on there, like, oh, you're talking shit about her. It's like, I'm not talking shit about her. When you're minus 3,300, like, you need to finish. Like, it doesn't matter there's like, if, again, just going back to what I said, if she was a minus 500 and she goes to a dominant decision, okay, I'm fine with that. But a minus 3,300, this is essentially a pro fighter fighting an amateur fighter. People are like, oh, well, she's really tough. Okay, well, why is she a minus 3,300? If her opponent is so good, this doesn't make any sense. And that's the other thing. People are like, oh, she should go to the UFC. It's like, listen, she's not going to get a minus 3,300 in the UFC ever. She might not ever get a minus 1,000 in the UFC. So why would she transfer? Not to mention the PFL pays great. I have a friend that fights in the PFL. Hasn't won the tournament or anything. He's getting 80,000. You know what I mean? And he's not even a champion. So let her get her money. Let her stack her money. I love her. I think she's great. Just because I said that she should, she's finished 12 of 15. Okay, that's great. I don't care what she's done. But when you're expected to, and a 30-24 is just insane. Like when you're expected to win that bad, like finish the fight. Like, with grappler, if you're ahead on the scorecards that much, show the fans that you can do everything. Show the fans you can wrestle. Show the fans you can grapple. Don't be a one-trick pony. I love her. I think she's great. I'm not talking shit. It's just that when you're that big of a favorite, you need to finish.
All right. So she also, and by the way, we got a couple of comments here. 1 second. Dakota is almost as pretty as Paulo Costa. Thomas Carina says no one is beating Hamzat for years. Let's go, Thomas Carina. What a legendary participant of the chat. I agree.
Western gets the new one, man. Look at that.
Hey, Western is a member. We got a new member. Western's he is our original watcher. He's been our original person that we can always rely on. He was there for every stream when it was literally just Western 2 years ago, year and a half ago. For a long time, it was just that we're getting 1 view, 2 views, all that stuff. So Western, we'd love to have you as a member and let us know what you think about the training vids. And yeah, super cool. Thomas Carina says, "Oh, RDR scary. I might see it." Stop it. Are you joking? You think RDR would beat Hamza? I think you're joking. Thomas says, "I love the show. Content every day." Justin, stop hating.
I think that's what Thomas commented on the Ditcheva video. I'm not a hater, dude. I think she's great, but she has to finish.
Nah, okay. Well, we got to talk about the other piece of news. So after I made this whole video saying, all right, it's nearly time. We're ready to go. She's going to fight. And I think she's going to come to the UFC because the UFC has to get her. Technically, somebody made a dumb comment on my video. They're like, you said she's 27. She's only 26. Get it right. Sorry. She turns 27 on Friday. All right. So she's 26 technically, but you know what I'm saying. Just use basic math skills. She's essentially 27. But I digress. I was hoping that we were going to get some sort of an announcement in the next coming weeks that maybe she was going to finally come to the UFC. And I was super disappointed. So she's announced that she's going to be there for a few years is what she said. Few usually means 3 or more. That's my assumption. I don't know. I was very bummed. That being said, Justin made some really good points that kind of got me rethinking it. So I'll let Justin kind of take it away. But Justin was basically talking about, hey, look at the odds that she's getting in the PFL. How much money is she going to make? And why not stack that cash when it's almost a guarantee with her fights? Justin, let me turn it over to you. So give us your take on why you think she made the absolute right decision by staying in the PFL.
Okay, let's just look at Kayla Harrison, for instance, and I'm going to keep it short because I talked about in the video, and if I really want to go into an in-depth dive, I want you guys to peep my video. I think we're over 3,000 views on my video. My videos aren't as good as Huzaifa's. I can openly admit that, but I am getting better and they're getting longer too. So anyways, take the Kayla Harrison approach. You look at Kayla Harrison. Kayla Harrison comes into the PFL, super stud. She goes in the tournament. She wins it. She wins $1 million. She goes in the tournament the next year. She wins it. She wins $1 million. And not to mention, she's getting paid for the fights prior to getting into the finals. She gets to the tournament the third time. She loses in the finals, gets paid $500,000. She's able to stack that cash. And I tell you what, the PFL is paying their superstars. I think Dakota Ditcheva is doing the right thing. Get these incredible matchups at a minus 3,300. There's no, essentially what everyone is saying is there's almost no chance of you losing. And I'm just sounding like a broken record now. She's never going to be a minus 3,300 in the UFC. Keep getting these fights, keep getting these great matchups, get in the tournament, win the $1 million, get paid, stack that money. And then when you're financially set and when you feel that, hey, I don't need to fight anymore financially, I just want to fight for my legacy, then make it to the UFC. Because if you go to the UFC like, all right, well, I want to make more money or this or that, like that would be the wrong time to do it, because the UFC, I mean, they probably will pay her a little bit more, but I don't think it's going to be a life-changing amount of money more. I don't think they're going to pay her millions of dollars to fight. She's 15-0. She's still kind of unknown, but she's on the up and up. Let her fight out in the PFL for a couple more years. Let her get some wins. Let her stack some money. And then when she wants to fight for her legacy, go to the UFC and see what she's made of.
Justin, if this plays out the way that we think, right? Let's say she gets a few more fights over the next few years in the PFL. Let's say it is 3 years. She comes over at the age of 30 in the UFC. Is it similar between men and women in terms of primes? We usually say that you hit your prime as a male fighter in your early 30s, like let's say like 30 to 34 or something. You're in your prime, maybe 30 to 35. Do you find it to be the same for women or no?
I don't know, man. I think a lot of it goes on to maturity. Some people mature earlier than others. And a lot of it comes down to damage. And I know there's anomalies, and I hate when I say like, oh, damage wears on fighters sooner. And it's like, oh, what about Justin Gaethje? It's like, okay, there's one guy that's taken an incredible amount of damage, and now all of a sudden everybody should be like that. Let's look at Chuck Liddell, who is known for how tough he was. And now if you go up to Chuck and flick him in the chin, he's a knocked unconscious. You know what I mean? Like I'm telling you guys, damage wears on fights. And when she's fighting in the PFL, she's not taking damage. So her career is going to be extended past. So whether she's in her prime at 28, whether it's at 30, whether it's at 32, you look at Randy Couture, he wasn't in his prime till he was probably 38 or 40. In my opinion, he fought in the UFC all through his early, up until his late, or till he was 50, or maybe his late 40s. But like he didn't get into the sport until he was 35. I don't think he started fighting professionally until he was 35. So how can you say that his prime was going to be 30 when he's still a 6-time world champion in his 40s? So I think it's person to person, fighter to fighter, and how much wear and tear they take on their bodies.
That's a fair point. And I think Dakota Ditcheva being in the PFL is not going to take much damage, not going to take much wear and tear. So anyways, I think my point with this whole discussion is Justin got me to rethink and reconsider my original position. And I kind of do agree. I mean, I said this in the video too, like she's probably doing what's best for her. But I feel less aggravated about the move. I mean, again, it was purely selfish. I want to see her fight in the UFC. I want to see her push herself and be the best of the best of the best and be a global superstar. Like, I think she could be so much bigger than Ronda Rousey. That being said, Justin made a good point. From her vantage point, from her family's vantage point, she's just going to keep racking up the wins, get a crazy record, make a ton of money. Then when she comes over to the UFC, another point that Justin made, she's going to have no financial concerns. She's coming over set, solidified, not having to worry about anything and just going in there and being able to perform. And she's going to come over substantially younger than Kayla Harrison. Like, Kayla's done some really cool stuff, but Kayla's made champ. I think she's going to have an even, Dakota's going to have an even longer runway. So it's going to be super cool. All right. So that is that for Dakota Ditcheva dominating. Let's move on to our final two topics. First one, Justin's favorite topic. Dana White says Jon Jones can't be trusted for the White House event, but let's hear the clip in Dana White's own words, and then we are going to react to this statement. I don't believe it for a second, by the way, what Dana White's saying here. I'll tell you why in a moment, but check this out.
A lot of questions about the White House card potentially. Conor McGregor has said he's back in the pool with hopes of potentially fighting on that like a year from now. And then Nate Diaz said he would love to be the opponent. I know you said that trilogy is something you could do anytime and it would make sense. Are you interested in doing business with Nate Diaz?
I love Nate. That fight's a year away. Yeah, so I'm not even thinking about anything right now. The landscape will change so much by next 4th of July. You know, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows who's going to be on the card or what the main event will be or who will hold all the titles, and everything could be completely different. So it's not even worth thinking about it right now.
Sure. I guess just one follow-up on that, though, with Jon Jones. He said,
I have other problems. I'm dealing with the logistics and you know, all the things on figuring out how to make this thing happen. How do we want to do it? I'm going to fly out there in about 10 days, 2 weeks, and we'll have all the renderings done, sit down with him and go through the renderings and see what he wants to do and what he doesn't want to do.
Yeah, Jon Jones says he wants to be on there too, and he says he would fight whoever the champion is at that time. But would you be okay with him like coming back and potentially winning that belt again? And you might have to go through.
Well, it's not even about him winning the belt. I mean, you know how I felt about him. I can't risk putting him in big positions in a big spot and have something go wrong.
Fair enough.
Yeah, especially the White House card.
Okay.
I think he's sincere.
Okay, so you believe Dana White?
I do.
Okay, well, now I'm just going to give food for thought, and I'd love to hear what other people have to think as well. He recently was on the Full Send podcast, and when he was asked, this is after Jon Jones had retired and everything like that, but when he was asked about the White House card, he's like, who would be your dream headliner? He's like, obviously it'd be Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall. He said that just like a week before. Now, why he's saying this, so let me give you food for thought, and then you tell me if you agree at all with what I'm saying now. I don't think that I think he has to publicly say this, because otherwise he's basically, it's almost like he's being led around by Jon Jones. Like he has no power, no leverage, no authority. And so I think he has to put it out there. Like, I don't know, because this guy screwed us before. Now I don't trust him. I don't think it's real, but I think he has to make it appear that way. But I think if Jon Jones truly does train, truly does want to come back, and truly wants to fight at the White House, I think it's going down. You can't. There's nobody else. Who else? It's too perfect. He's the greatest champion of all time, and he's American, and he would be coming back to a fight with that much anticipation. Dude, they have to do it. The shareholders, if they don't do it, are going to lose their minds, especially if Jon Jones is able and willing to fight. Have I convinced you? Have I changed your mind?
No, I think he's a liability, man. And I don't think we understand, or maybe people, I don't know, man. I don't think people want to see the fight. You look at John Muntball, fuck Jon Jones. Like, that's how I feel too. Like, after everything he's done with the heavyweight division, like, who's even the heavyweight champ? Like, I've almost forgot who the heavyweight champ is, because there's nobody's fighting, hasn't fought for a belt in so long. And it's really, it's made the heavyweight division kind of lose its luster.
All right. Here's what I think is going to happen. Ready?
Ready.
Let's go to fantasy land. I think Cyril Gane's going to fight Tom Aspinall in the next couple months. I think Cyril Gane's going to win. Hot take. I think he's going to win. I think Tom's going to be out. Will they give Tom a rematch? Maybe, maybe not. But then I think somehow in this next time period, I think this is a crazy take right here. I think that we're going to have Alex Pereira go up, rematch Magomed Ankalaev, lose, move up to heavyweight, challenge Cyril Gane. Pereira versus Cyril Gane. Pereira is going to win, and Jon Jones will return until the White House card to fight Alex Pereira, meaning he will not pull out, because he knows that's a fight that he can easily handle and easily win. And Jon Jones returns, wins, and bows out. That's my prediction.
Here's the fight that needs to be made. Muntball, you tell me what fight about this. Come here. Stand right here. What? This is the fight that needs to be made right here. Come on, square up with me. Square up, motherfucker. Let's go. Get up, bitch.
Oh, damn. That landed. That must have hurt. Jesus. Yeah, there we go.
That's how we do in this house.
That's the fight that needs to happen. But yo, I'm calling some crazy stuff, something crazy right now like that. I actually do think Tom Aspinall is not going to last a full year. It's a hot take. It's a hot take. Tom Aspinall is very talented, but I have a feeling that something weird like that's going to go down, and Jon Jones is going to be laughing all the way to the bank. He's going to come back and get some weird fight against somebody else in the heavyweight. It's going to be crazy, dude. I think something weird like that is going to happen. Who's that? Oh, look, Western says who's but that's crazy. I know it's a crazy take, and I'm not saying it's a high percentage. I just have a feeling that something like this is going to go down. Couldn't you? Like, wouldn't that just be perfect after all of this back and forth, all the hate that Jon Jones has gotten, all the comments saying he's running from Tom Aspinall, and then at the end of the day, when the fight's finally back on the table, Tom Aspinall is nowhere to be seen. Like, he's like ranked number 5 or something. Like, just imagine how crazy that would be. I could see it. Anyways, that's my thoughts. Mupball says Ben versus a barber, LOL.
Dude,
okay.
I tell you what, it's crazy. Like, I used to say that too, but like when we go out, it's insane, John, that everywhere we go. We went to dinner last night and 3 girls walked up to him and said, "I love your hair."
Hey,
I'm not joking. Everywhere we go, people come up to him like unprompted. We'll just be walking through and they'll stop him like, "I love your hair." I've heard him, and it's not him. He doesn't tell me. I hear it. And it's just, I told him last night. So like, because he'll wear it in his eyes sometimes, it drives me nuts. And he did a video last night. We may post it, we may not. It's his first video, guys. So if we do post it, give him some love. It's a good video considering he's only 16. But like I told him, like I want him to do something with his hair so he looks professional. But last night after we went to dinner and 3 different waitresses came up to him and said, "I love your hair." So I went up to him and was like, "Hey, keep your hair. Everybody loves it. It's your thing." And and I'm very lucky to have him. I have an incredible son. He's very smart. And guys, yeah, if you see him on the channel, if you see him post any videos, like I said, we might post his video. Show him some love. He's only 16.
I think we're in a new day and age, and I think the old strictures of having a certain haircut or this or that or whatever to fit in or be professional, I think these are all vestiges of the path, and I think you're professional by your actions and by your work product. And yeah, man, I say rock it, especially if he's getting all this good feedback from the ladies. No reason to cut that. Tehran says that would be funny. Yeah, like he's talking about Jon Jones and coming back to fight. Dude, I'm telling you, man, I have a weird feeling. Call me. I'm putting money on Cyril Gane. Mark my words. I will put money on Cyril Gane. All right. Now we go to the final topic. Huge news, ladies and gentlemen. Dillon Danis is returning. He is returning to this crazy fight card where Darren Till is fighting Luke Rockhold. We have Tony Ferguson, that we cover this, fighting Salt Poppy, which is insane. And the sad part is I actually think Tony's going to lose. But okay, let's not even talk about that. Dude, Dillon Danis is fighting this guy. Let me show you this guy. Hold on. 10 guys versus 1 mechanic. I've never heard of this guy. I don't know, Justin, if you've heard of this crazy guy. Or 10 haters versus 1 mechanic. His name is Warren Spencer. Warren the Mechanic Spencer. Check this out.
I see him.
Hold on, let me screen share here. Okay, boom. Here we go. Check it.
Picking on bullying inexperienced fighters. I'm humpering. Knockout artist on this side, boy.
No, he's not bleeding out. The MMA champions came. He shake up the program. It's kicking off.
Okay, whatever. I don't know what they're talking, what that promo is for. But anyways, he took on 10 guys. This guy, Warren Spencer, who's fighting Dillon Danis. But he looks like he's a boxer, right? So he boxes all these guys, and I guess he beats 10 guys, whatever, big deal, because they're not like trained fighters. They're just more like casual fighters. But he's having a straight-up MMA match against Dillon Danis. Now, the other thing, Dillon Danis' record in MMA is still 2-0 from those Bellator fights way back in the day. But he does have the grappling advantage. Now, we won't talk about this for too long because I know, Justin, you probably don't care at all about Dillon Danis. That being said, let's just wrap the show up here. But let's get your take on this fight as it's now being announced. What do you think is going to go down in this MMA fight with Dillon Danis versus some random dude?
I tell you what, man, I am very humble enough to say that I am so jealous of guys like Dillon Danis that I have put my heart and my soul, and I've sacrificed relationships and even the relationship with my son to pursue this career in MMA. And guys like Dillon Danis, I will never make a small percentage of what they make. And I don't respect them as fighters. That's a fight that why can't I get that matchup? Why can't I get this fucking bum boxer and get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars? Because I didn't work with Conor McGregor. I work with Randy Couture, Sean Strickland, Chris Curtis, all these great guys. And like Dillon Danis can just walk in, get paid 6 figures to fight bums. He's being set up with a fucking bum boxing fighter. And I have to fight fucking killers, all fucking killers in the UFC. Gavin Tuck was ranked in the top 15. My second fight in the UFC was not only short notice, but was a top 15 guy. You know what I mean? It's like, and I got paid $12,000. Now he gets matched up against this shitty boxer whose boxing doesn't look great. Like, it looks okay. He's set up perfect to get the takedown, sub him in the first round. He's going to get paid. He's not going to take any damage. And then we have to listen to about Dillon Danis for the next 6 months. It makes me sick, man, because again, I put my heart and soul into this, literally sold my soul to the devil, essentially. I mean, I'm an atheist, but it's an expression that I sold my soul to the devil, and I will never make a small percentage of what he did, man. And just to see him come on the scene and make the money he's going to make, it makes me fucking sick. Makes me fucking sick.
It's basically, it's happening because he talked a bunch of shit to Logan Paul's fiance. That's
like, cool, bro. Like, wow, you're the man, dude. Hey, you did it, dog. You made it to the top. Good job.
What if Dillon Danis loses? That would be the craziest thing as well.
There's people in this sport I want to stop talking about. Jon Jones, Dillon Danis, Colby Covington. Boom. Get these people out of here, man. Like, without them.
I can agree with your take with respect to Dillon Danis for sure. Well, actually, and Colby Covington as well. Jon Jones, if he comes back, I will watch it, and we will. You know what I mean? It is what
everyone's going to root against him. There's not going to be a single. I can't imagine anybody. I mean, I'm sure there are people that root for him, but I want him out because if he wins, now we got to listen to a whole nother thing. Is he going to hold up the division again? I don't even want to go on the rant.
Oh, I think he'll immediately vacate and bow. I think. Well, let's see. The UFC gets.
He's an egomaniac, dude. He's a fucking egomaniac. He's not going to vacate. He's going to hold on to it until the UFC takes it away, just like he did this time.
Yeah, he might. Well, all right, guys, that's the show for today. Once again, we want to give another shout out back to Western for becoming one of our members. Thank you so much. It's great to have you. It seems only fitting that we have you as a member, as you've been our longest watcher of this show. So from the get-go, we really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for joining. We had fun. We were looking forward to talking about everything that went down over the weekend because so much went down. And yeah, it was great. Be on the lookout for content. Somebody said, hey, we love this channel because you guys have content daily. That is right. Be on the lookout. We got videos drop, a lot of times multiple videos, but videos dropping every day, minimum one. And that's what we're all about. We love the sport. We love this game. We want to cover it. Both the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between, a lot of the funny as well. And that's it. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you.
Hey, wait. I got one more thing to say.
Go for it, Justin.
Huzaifa made a video about Dakota Ditcheva. It exploded, guys. Thank you for all the support. Huzaifa is doing an incredible job, man. I was telling him last night how much praise and how much respect. And I'm so proud of him because he has made 2 videos over 30. He had one video go over 40,000. One's over 30,000. I think my biggest video is like 10,000. But I'm getting better, guys. But guys, if you haven't checked out Huzaifa's video, show support, share the video. It's anytime we can get a big video following with 20, 30,000 views, it's huge for the channel. And I just want to publicly say how proud I am of Huzaifa and how great of a job he's doing on running this channel.
Well, thank you. Yeah, definitely check out the video. It was the one I dropped on Saturday. I think it's at like 33,000 views now about Dakota Ditcheva. And yeah, man, I love doing it. So we're going to keep making those videos. Also, if you guys have any thoughts or suggestions for a particular topic you want me to cover, let me know. We had a Todd Atkins gave me the idea to do the Ariel versus Turkey video that did pretty well. So I get great video and content suggestions from people all the time. Tehran's made some suggestions as well. So let me know what you want me to cover. And if you think it's up my alley and something that I could cover well, and I'll definitely do that. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining, and we will see you in the next episode. Take it easy.